Now, this is a story about a girl who chose to obey and do the will of the Lord. And now, even though it took some wrong turns and some upside down moments, the spirit within her kept her moving her forward. Now, I don't know much about poetry, but I hope you stick around to know more about my story. Oh, yeah. God bless. Jesus is rocks. Jesus is rocks. Oh yeah, stick around to know more about my story. Oh yeah. God bless, love you, keep on smiling, stay positive. Jesus loves you, so do I. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Good morning, y'all. It is, what day is it? Saturday. Days have been just crazy and all over the place, as usual. Let's see. I already filmed Monday, so I don't have to fill you on that. Tuesday and Wednesday we did 2 houses each, but we did one of the houses on each day. Tuesday we did a big old cleaning top to bottom because these people are going to be moving soon. So, just sad because we really grew close to them and they're going to be moving a bit of a ways, so we're going to be sad to say goodbye to them, but we know what's best, they know what's best, and we hope the best for them. So we're going to stay in touch, we're going to still be friends, even though we won't clean for them anymore. And then the next day we had another big cleaning as well. So we didn't get home until, 9 o'clock on Wednesday at night. So that was a long day. We were all exhausted. And then Thursday was a typical 4-day houses. I managed to get through that. And then yesterday, Friday, we were supposed to do 3 houses. For some odd reason, my body went berserk. I had one of my episodes. I don't know if it was an actual seizure or if it was just a panic/anxiety attack. Either way, I was having a hard time breathing, and I grew really clammish, and just my body was just not having it. It could have been because of stress induced, because of this week. My body was just like shutting down, basically. I think that's what the main reason was. My mom was also talking about stuff that was just, I'm very sensitive to talking about medical stuff as far as like blood and guts and talking about the body. I'm not a huge fan talking about it. It's just, it makes me feel disgusted when we talk about that, and just I get really sensitive and I want to pass out. I don't know if that was because of it or just, and plus being tired on top of it, and my body was just like, nope, not having it. So after that, Mom noticed I wasn't feeling the greatest and I was heavy breathing, and she was like, okay, are you alright? You having a seizure? And I'm like, I don't know, my body's just going berserk. So she turned around and rescheduled 2 of the houses that morning. And then we came home. I took a nap, like 2-hour nap, just got rested up, and then ate lunch. And then we had a 3rd house to go to. Mom's like, if you're not up to it, you can stay home. And I was like, no, I'm fine, I am doing better. And so I was rested up enough. My body just needed rest is the main problem with that. So we went to Zusie's house, which is, you know, just up the road, and I was like, she can't do that whole house by herself. I'm like, there's no way. So I mustered up and felt better, so I just went, and then we had Bible study that evening, which was good. I always enjoyed getting to the Word with, you know, can't say my own peers, because everyone's either younger or older than me. I'm the only middle-aged one. But anyway, it was good. So that's how my week has been. It's been crazy all over the place and just annoying. But I'm doing good, y'all. I'm doing good. I'm tired still, but overall I'm feeling fine. So if you can just continue to pray for us, our family. We're all exhausted. We're all tired. Ricky's had a rough week. He had to go to, I think it was North Carolina. One of the Carolinas, I think it was, to get his truck fixed. So he didn't come home, I think it was Wednesday night. And then last week he was doing yard work. So he was just at the yard. So he's been out in the hot sun. So pray for us. And then Mom, of course, has just been totally exhausted. Oh, good news for her, by the way. Despite my issues, she got home. She got hold of people at her college, because she signed up for a class that's supposed to be online, and then when she rejected sorry, I get all kinds of stuff in my throat and I'm all clogged up with gunk, so that's why my voice is just the way it is. But anyway, that's just me in the mornings. Anyway, she got good news. She had got a hold of the right people, and they made sure she didn't have to go. She was gonna have this, had to go in for the labs. Well, she knew she couldn't be on there sitting on those stools for so long, wearing goggles. Who knows? We might have to wear a mask again. I don't know. She just couldn't do it. She couldn't do it last year. Why she can't do it this year either? I'm like, this semester. I'm like, no. And so she got the right people, they got hold of the right system, and she's going to be doing it online. So praise the Lord for that. Also, the fact that she was able to finish out her semester all online. So, hallelujah, amen to all that. So Mom can finish out her associates and get her associates finally all online. So I'm hoping at least this full year that she'll graduate next year. Hopefully. I don't want to say fingers crossed because I don't know. But hopefully I'm praying that she gets that. I'm hoping. So then she can, I'm assuming she can, then she'll turn around and get her, I think it was the next search after associates. I think it's bachelor. Yeah. I think that's the way it is. Or what's the next step. But anyway. So I'm hoping, praying for her. So just pray for our family because we're all exhausted. Our bodies are telling us, obviously mine did. My body cannot take stress for so long, or I just shut down basically. I get overtired and I just can't handle it. The pressure is too hard for me. Stress, I can't handle stress. So anyway, today is chore day. I'm gonna get a lot of stuff done. Vacuuming, dusting, laundry. I don't know if I'll get my laundry done today. I might have to get done tomorrow, depending who's doing laundry and who's doing what. I really been putting off some videos. I need to film those. Try to at least get that done. I don't know if I'll get to my dollhouse or not. I will see. See how my body's handling how tired I am. Anyway, I'm gonna get myself going this morning, and I'll see you guys when it's Bible time. Hey guys. Oh my gosh, my hair is all over the place. Look at this. My bangs. It's supposed to be pulled back, but it never listens to me. My hair does whatever the heck it wants. I'm hot. Sweating. Hot. Fun, right? Anyway, I have gotten a vacuuming done. I put that futon that was supposed to be last week, put it away, put it together. I forgot to say we got a new chair, electric chair, reclining chair for Ricky, basically. And Mom and I put that together. When it comes to putting things together, I am really good at it. It might take me a little while, but I eventually figure it out and I get it done. So trying to cool off. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so I got that done. I was working on laundry. gotta be in the 90s outside. So stinking hot. 80s, 90s, same difference. It's just summer's a little bit hotter. It doesn't need to be that hot. It's not that necessary, but apparently it is for summertime. Anyway, I cleaned the bathroom, vacuumed, working on laundry, put stuff together, got my next month's kids' church lesson ready, got tomorrow's kids' church lesson ready. Yeah, I'm all caught up. The only thing I haven't done is put those videos together. If you're curious of what I'm listening to at the moment, All Good by Capital Kings in Holland. That's what I'm listening to. I'm actually going to pause that because it's distracting. Because it's about that time, everybody's favorite time, which is Bible time. But before we get into that, I have to make an announcement. I think I've got a new subscriber. So thank you. If you're subscribed to me, that is awesome sauce. I appreciate it. I don't know who it is. Thank you for those who are subscribed to me. I don't actually know who this person is, but thank you. I appreciate it. So I think that is now, what, 11 subscribers on here? So thank you very much. Yes, 11. Thank you very much. I appreciate every single one of you, honestly. I know I'm not paying attention to the camera right now, but thank you very much on that. It is much appreciated. I think that person also followed me on Instagram. Let's see. It's just at the name, it didn't say who. I don't know who it is. Yes, you did follow me on Insta. Thank you again for following me on everything. I appreciate it. Anyway. Trying to cool off here. Oh my goodness, this is so stinking hot. I don't like summer, y'all. I really don't. Summer is so boring. It's not boring because there's always something to do, but it's so stinking hot. I don't like it. Anyway, it's everybody's favorite time of the vlog. Let's get right to it, shall we? Since we're already 5 minutes into this with me blabbing about how hot I am and whatnot. So it's everybody's favorite time of the vlog, Bible time. And we're still in Genesis. There's a lot in Genesis. Alright. I think we're at Genesis chapter 23, the burial of Sarah. Alright. Sarah was 127 years old. She died at Karath-arah. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong. Like I usually am. Now called Hebron. That's easier to say. In the land of Canaan. When Abraham mourned and wept. There Abraham mourned and wept for her. I would too if I lost my significant other. Or a family member for this instance. Since Homegirl doesn't have a significant other, I don't have a man in my life, so yeah, I would cry if one of my brothers or sisters or mom, dad passed away, so that would be terrible. And leaving her body, he said to the Hittite elders, "Here I am, stronger and a foreigner among you. Please sell me a piece of land so I can give my wife a proper burial." The Hittites replied to Abraham, "Listen, my lord, you are honored prince among us. Choose the finest of our tombs and bury her there. No one here will refuse to help you in this way." Then Abraham bowed low before the Hittites and said, "Since you are willing to help me in this way," sorry, there's a bug. "Be so kind as to ask Ephron, son of Zorah, to let me buy his cave at Machpelah. Sorry, I'm pronouncing that wrong too, I'm sure. Down at the end of his field. I will pay the full price in the presence of witnesses, so I'll have a permanent burial place for my family." Ephraim was sitting there among the elders, and he answered Abraham as the elders listened, speaking publicly before all the Hittite elders of the town. "No, my lord," he said to Abraham, "please listen to me. I will give you the field and the cave. Here in the presence of my people, I give it to you. Go and bury your dead." Abraham again bowed low before the citizens of the land. And he replied to Ephraim as everyone listened, "No, listen to me. I will buy it from you. Let me pay the full price for the field so I can bury my dead there." Ephraim answered Abraham, "My lord, please listen to me. The land is worth 400 pieces of silver, but what is that between friends? Go ahead and bury your dead." So Abraham agreed to Ephraim's price and paid the amount he had suggested. 400 pieces of silver weighed according to the market standard. The Hittite elders witnessed the transaction. So Abraham bought the land belonging to Ephraim at Machpelah near Mamre. This included the field itself, the cave was in it, and all the surrounding trees. It was transferred to Abraham at his permanent possession in the presence of the Hittite elders at the city gate. Then Abraham buried his wife Sarah there in Canaan, in the cave of Machpelah near Mamre, also called Hebron. So the field and the cave were transferred from the Hittites to Abraham for use as a permanent burial place. So that is chapter 23. We'll get into chapter 24 next time. But we will be reading from the book, The Collective Journey. So this is for all my ladies out there, and if you're a guy, you can listen too. It wouldn't hurt you. But it is dedicated to women, so. Alright. I think we're in chapter 2 now. I think we are. Sorry, that bug is really driving me nuts. Yeah, I think we're in chapter 2. If I'm rereading this, it's okay. It's alright. God waits for you at your mountain. Don't be afraid, I have redeemed you. I have called your name. You are mine. When you're in over your head, I'll be there with you. When you're in rough waters, you will not go down. When you're between a rock and a hard place, it won't be a dead end. And because I am God, your personal God. Isaiah chapter 43, verses 1 through 3. Several years ago, I attended a prayer retreat for women leaders. By the way, if I ever say I, it's, again, Lisa Potter saying this. At the end of the opening session, the director encouraged us to find a place for contemplated prayer and listening. I am a forest sitter. I feel closer to God when I'm closer to the ground. I feel like I've read this already. Does it matter? Do I read this again to you guys? I feel like I've already read this though. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're gonna go ahead and skip this part because I feel like I've already read this so many times already. Alright, this is part 1 of chapter 2. Core Self, the Power of Inward Reflection. I apologize. I think I've already read that first part, so we're just going to go into this part. Let's go back into this, okay? Shall we? Watch over your heart with all its diligence, for when it flow the springs of life. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Welcome to the first foundation in the collective journey, Core Self,
The power of inward reflection. I suggest you take the journey through this book slowly. And this is what we're doing in a Bible study. We're taking it slowly. It is not something to rush through, but each foundation and added exercises or questions are thought out to bring about the desired results. Use the book individually or with a group, which I kind of do both because on my own time, I read it, and also I'm doing it in a group session. The first two foundations will help define and assess the inner you. The journey from one core self will move toward communion, the power of a story. Both aspects of the two foundations support spiritual formation. Gosh, that book. The process by which your inner self and character are shaped. You have an inner you and an outer you. The outer you is influenced by eating, drinking, exercise, sleep, and how you live. The inner you, the spirit, concerns your character, will, thoughts, and desires. It is formed by what you see, read, think, hear, and do. You design your inner life regardless of whether you nourish it or neglect it, which this is the part we talked about last night in our Bible study, and I underlined it. I'm going to reread it for you guys, so really listen to this. It's really good. You design your inner life regardless of whether you nourish it or neglect it, which is true. Depends on if you're going to let it grow or if you're just going to let it stay stagnant. Here's what I know. God made you to flourish. Yes, He did. To receive life from outside yourself, creating vitality within yourself, and producing blessing beyond yourself. Excuse me. Flourishing is God's gift and plan, and when you flourish, you are in harmony with God, other people, creation, and yourself. God will not change who you are. He will, however, make you a better version of yourself. During the core self foundation, you will take at least 2 personality tests, which, by the way, I've already done, and I will get to that in just a sec. Form your unique self. The goal centers on answering the questions of every Christ follower. Who am I? And illustrates that who we are matters much more than what we do. You will also spend time reflecting on the condition of your soul and answer the question, how is it with my soul? It's a good question, to think about. How is our soul? How are we within our soul? You will discover that you can only reach your God-given potential by becoming aware of your soul and caring for the inner self, your spirit. Through guided activities, you will see that the soul is where the true self resides. Leaning in with truthfulness, allowing the questions and stirrings of the soul to guide, brings forth honest and congruent growth. Developing this process will help sustain wholeness in life and leadership. You will explore what is life-giving, the grace of God, love of God, and a peace of God. Chapter 5 contributes one of the most important chapters in the collective journey, which we'll eventually get to. The difficulties of leadership and life needed a heaven-down understanding of grace and power it gives to receive the love and peace of God. At the end of the collective journey, you will develop a vision and value statement for your personal and leadership journey. I'll explain more about how you will define this later in this book, but begin to think about and pay attention to the various discoveries made about yourself in each foundation. Write them in a journal or in the note sections of your phone. I like to write things down personally on a notebook versus my phone. That's just me. If you're into writing in your phone, that's up to you as well. I'm a little old-fashioned. I like to write it down. Leadership and you are not two different entities. You are your leadership, the inner you and the outer you. What you bring to the world is a uniquely you. The journey to become the best version of me is continual and constant. It means it keeps on going, and it keeps on going, basically it means, and it's all the time. So will the journey be for you, my friend. Oh my gosh. Did I kill it? I don't know. There was like a flying ant in my room. I apologize for interrupting. I don't know where it went. Stupid bugs, I tell you what. Drive me insane. Okay, where was I? Okay, here we go. As we begin this first foundation, I have included some extra suggestions to enhance the foundation. These are called living it out rhythms. The rhythms: soulfully you, mindfully you, heartful you, and creative you are designed for different individuals and how we best understand the material we study. If you are contemplative at your core, then the soulful you rhythms may be best for you to explore a deeper understanding of the core self foundation. Mindful you celebrates the thinker and researcher, the part that discovers to see the evidence on paper. Heartful you is designed to speak to the heart of what matters. And creative you is for the artsy ones in the group, which I am not. Although you can pick and choose which ones you want to do, I suggest that everyone in the foundation one, core self, not skip the prayer retreat and the personality testing. I also have included one suggested book for you to read as you go deeper into the core study of core self and the importance of inward reflection of the soul. Core self assessment: a better understanding of the inner you, the spirit, and how it relates to your relationship with God, yourself, and others. Deeper awareness of the inner you, the spirit, and when things are out of alignment with God. Incorporating one's self-discipline beyond self toward better self-care, etc. Weekly Sabbaths, exercise or healthy eating plan, giving oneself routine time for self-giving refreshment, which is important. And then it gave like this big old chart we're supposed to do. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it tells you some things to do. I went ahead and did the mindful you, which you're supposed to take 2 online personality tests, and I went through some of these free personality tests, and it came out with the same thing. Anyway, so we're supposed to pick from the core, the soulful you, the mindful you, heartful you, or creative you. I did the mindful you, and I might go back and forth between that one and some other ones, but that one stood out to me. And so here are my results. I think that's all I was supposed to read to you guys. Yes. So here are mine. I'm also supposed to take a spiritual test, like gifting, which I'll be taking eventually. And I'll tell you the result of those later. But this is mine. From my 4 Myers-Briggs personality type letters, the MBPT, they give you a bunch of questions. You're supposed to answer it and see what was between disagreeing or agreeing, what was between. They just ask them questions to give you a perspective of what you are. This is what I was. I for introversion, which is one thing you think before versus reflect it. You reflect first, then act, which is true. I do think before I speak or do. 2, regularly require an amount of private time to recharge batteries. Yes, I often want my alone time, so often, especially by the end of the day. 3, motivated eternally. Mind is sometimes so active it is closed to the outside world. Yes, I often wander into space a lot. That I don't care what's going on around me, honestly. 4, prefer one-on-one communication in relationships. Yes, I prefer to be in a small group and having personal, like, relationship one-on-one talk time. I don't really like big groups because it overwhelms me. There was one that I picked and it was totally the opposite, so I took it again, and so I was like, oh, I'm the other person. I, intuitive. 1, mentally live in the future, tending to future possibilities. I don't know. This is why I got confused on this. Yes, I tend to think about the future versus the now. Even though that might not happen, I always think about what could be possibilities, but anyway. 2, using imaginative / creating, inventing new possibilities, an automatic instinct. My imagination goes wild, I will admit, whether it happens or it works out. I try. 3, memory, recall, emphasize patterns, contents, and connections. Yes, usually I think of things and then something happens that I remember it. My memory's just kind of not there anymore, but I try. It's not very instinctive like I remember everything. 4, best improves from the article understanding. I guess that's what I think of. I don't know. Sorry, my handwriting's terrible, so I can't actually say what I have to say. 5, comfortable with ambiguous, fuzzy data and guessing its meaning. Yeah, that kind of is true when I try to think of things of my past or whatever, and I just like go with that. I don't really think like I have to have an intellectual conversation and think it has to be clear-minded. F for feeling, instinctively employ personal feelings and impact on people and decision situations. Yes. 2, naturally sensitive to people's needs and reactions. Yes, I am a very sensible person, sensitive to people's reactions, whether it's of a negative or a positive way. 3, naturally seek consensus and popular opinions. Yes, I do try to reach out to people, even if I agree with it or not. 4, unsettled by conflict, have almost a toxic reaction to disharmony. Yes, I do agree with that. I really do not like people when they do things against, especially the word. It's just, ugh. J, judging. Yes, I can be kind of judgy. 1, plan many of the details in advance before moving into action. I try. I can't say that's perfection. I try to plan ahead and be prepared for things because you never know what's going to happen. Oh, the battery's about to die, so I'm going to be right back. Okay, fresh battery. Hello. I'm back. Charge that one later. Alright, so yes, I try to plan things ahead of time, get things ready, whether it really happens or I need it or not. Okay. 2, focus on task-related action, contemplate meaningful segments before moving on. Yes. I try to focus on one thing and then get that done before I try to move on to the next thing. 3, work best and avoid stress when able to keep ahead of deadlines. Yes, I like to get things done ahead of time before and try to get it done before I get stressed out. I don't like stress. It doesn't work naturally for me. I don't do things on the fly. Okay, and 4, naturally uses targets, dates, and standard routines to manage life. Yes, calendar. I write things down. I get things done. I write lists all the time. I write things on the calendar to make sure everything is set and done. I like routine. That is definitely me. So yeah, that is my thing. And I also have another thing. It says the INFJs, like yourself, are the rarest personality type, making up only 1% of the population. 1%. That's very rare. But I happen to be part of that 1%. You are soft-spoken and kind-hearted. Yes. But do not make mistake yourself for a pushover. I used to be a pushover, but now I am not. I hold my ground. You hold strong values and opinions. Yes. And you advocate for what you believe in. Yes. You are decisive and able to see the big picture when presented with a complex situation. You're goal-oriented. I try to be. I'm not 100%. I try to be genuine, responsible, and caring. Yes. Yet you firmly believe in other people, almost to a fault. You are very altruistic, whatever that means. You primarily focus on what's going on around you, and you're especially concerned with the well-being of others. Yes, I do. I am concerned about others as well. I help others in ways I can. You're always willing to help other people when needed. Yes, and you enjoy doing so. You form deep relationships with those close to you. Yes. You are insightful, future-oriented, and conscientious. You have a vision for the future and have a decisive plan about the best of means of meeting these goals. I try to. I'm not 100% in that. Some of this stuff I'm not like 100% into. I try. Okay. You make decisions by going by your gut. Your values play a large role in driving your decision-making process. Yes, God has a lot to do with that. And you always try to act in accordance with your values. Yes. Your secondary focus is internal, where you make judgments based primarily on your intuition. You operate largely internally and are able to see the big picture very easily. You're generally able to understand things though your strong sense of intuition, and you often pinpoint specific reasons. Regarding the outside world, you're highly organized. Okay, this part I don't agree with. I don't think I answer the question right with some of these. I can't say I'm organized to 100%. If you see my room, I am not. But anyway. You're often able to handle several projects simultaneously. Sometimes you're excellent at setting priorities and developing plans. Kind of. You possess an incredible high degree of empathy. Yes, that is 100% true. Leading you to always see the best in others. Because of this ability, you might sometimes place too much trust in others. Yes, unfortunately, and I learned my lesson from that. I'm like, okay, I need to put my priorities straight, and I need to not trust some people that are untrustworthy. This can make it easy for others to disappoint you and take advantage of you. Oh my gosh, yes. In addition, you truly value your relationships with others and often tend to put the needs of others before your own. Because of this, you might be careful not to make choices and define your priorities based solely on what others want. This may result in neglecting your own needs and losing your sense of purpose. I agree. It is critical that you do not sacrifice your own well-being and aspirations to help others. You may find yourself tired, stressed, and burnt out. Right? Alright. Although you have very strong held beliefs, you often have difficulty revealing your true identity and values. Wow, yes. You're a very deep, complex person. Wow, really? I would have never known that. Because you are natural at interacting with and understanding people, you may be chameleon-like in interactions instead of revealing your true self. Wow, yeah. I often hide my true self often. I try not to do that. I am trying to be more like myself, especially on my social media. But of course, that's easier to do than actually in person. At least for me, personally, it is. Finally, often seek out the opinions of others, but may have a hard time accepting criticism. You may become reliant on others' approval to validate your self-worth. Y'all, that is me to almost a T, except for the organizational part that doesn't exactly exist. But that is my personality test. Now, I need to take this. I have done this spiritual gifting before. It's basically you're answering 96 questions, rating each one from 0 to 4 on your answer sheet. Okay? You add up the 24 rows of the 4 numbers and enter the totals in the total column. Get that? Find your 3 to 5 highest scores and circle the letters A through X by the high scores. Turn to the gift keys and find the 24 gifts listed from A to X. Talk to your pastor or your lay leader about which ministries match your gifts. I have already done this before, and I'm going to take it again. And basically, you answer all these questions, okay? And then you put the answers in the back of y'all, and then it tells you what your gifts are. So, we're going to take it, and I'll come back with you guys, and you'll figure out what it is. I've already done it before, but I'm going to see if it has changed, because, excuse me, I've done this back in my early 20s, and since now I'm in my 30s now. I'm officially 30, so maybe it has changed or it has been the same. I don't know. We'll see. So I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I took the test, and some of this was astounding. Yes, it has changed throughout the years. Some of it's similar and yet different at the same time. Okay, so I have the one I just took and the one that I took a long time ago. So, back when I was in my early 20s, my high scores were faith, was my gifting, pastor/shepherd, and serving/ministry. Okay. 2 of those I thought I was spot on, was about my faith. Pastor/shepherd was definitely my, like, oh my gosh, I don't believe this type of moment. And the other one was serving/ministry, which I already knew. I already liked doing stuff like that. So, this one, ministry, is still basically the same thing that I still have now. This one, okay, so all the ones I had high score was like 14, or yeah, all were like 14. Some of these I agree with, some of them I don't, so just bear with me. Helping, which entitles, by the way, gives the definition of what helping means. The gifts of help refer to the capacity to unselfishly meet the needs of others through very practical means. Central trust, the attitude and ability to aid others in practical ways. Yes, I have the ability to do that. The other ability stuff I had was service. Service means a person with the gift of service is often patient and others-centered. They see needs and find joys in meeting them. They show love through action more than words, and they attach to value to even minimal tasks. Central trust, looking for needs that others have. I agree with that. Miracles. Okay. The workings of powers, gift, and miracles refers to the releasing of God's supernatural power so that the miraculous intervention of God is perceived and God receives recognition for the supernatural intervention. Central trust, the releasing of God's power to give authenticity. So, I'm not sure about that one exactly, but okay. Then another one was mercy. And definition of that: the gift of mercy refers to the capacity to both feel sympathy for those in need, especially the suffering, and to manifest the sympathy in some practical, helpful ways with a cheerful spirit as to encourage and help those in need. I definitely agree with this one. Central trust, the empathetic care for those who are hurting. Another one that I had was prophecy. I don't know about this one. This one sounds kind of iffy. I even have like the doubting Thomas effect, which, if you don't know the story behind Thomas, he was very doubtful until he was able to see and feel that Jesus was actually there. Prophecy, the definition of that: a person operating with the gift of prophecy has the capacity to deliver truth in a public way, either of a predictive nature or as a spiritual word from God, in order to correct by exhorting, identifying, or counseling believers, and to convince non-believers of God's truth. Central trust, to provide correction or perspective on a situation. I'm not exactly 100% sure on that one. Again, I wasn't 100% when my last test was spiritual shepherd/pastor, so I was in disbelief with that. Maybe down the road, who knows? All things are possible through God. Maybe He'll give me the gift of prophecy, and I just don't know it yet. Who knows? But that is a huge responsibility to have that gift, because for me personally, I have a hard time with other prophets who have this gift, because I'm like, just have that self-doubting moment. So I'm hoping, no offense to God, but I'm not saying I couldn't have the gift, but that is a huge responsibility to have or undertake. So I'm not sure, but who knows. And intercession. Intercession, definition of that is those with the gift often feel compelled to pray for specific requests when they are made known. Gifted intercessors have have a much greater occurrence of specific answers to prayer than most Christians. Intercessors often have an acute understanding that the prayer is genuinely a conversation with God, and when left alone, find themselves engaged in a prayer. Many intercessors experience times when God moves them to pray for situations when they are not entirely sure what they are praying for. Wow. I do believe with this one. To those who get to know intercessors well, prayer becomes contagious. Those with this gift should help others learn how to pray more effectively. Central trust, God, asking God to intervene for specific needs. I do believe this one specifically more now than ever, because I have the need to simply just pray for others. Even God even gives me specific people that I have just to simply pray for. So when I feel the burden to pray for them, and even when this is another thing that really burdens my heart whenever I hear ambulance going off, whether it's police sirens, fire, or an ambulance going by. I instantly start praying for those people, not only helping them, but the people that are in an emergency situation. So yes, prayer is definitely important to me. So intercessoring, I could definitely see. I'm not sure about the prophecy one exactly yet. But yeah, there's some other things as well. Faith previously was one of mine. It was still on the high standard, I think. Yeah, it was 13, so it was still like my highest one. It was next to the highest. Faith is the gift of faith, refers to the unusual capacity of a person to recognize in a given situation that God intends to do something and to trust God for it till he brings it to pass. Central trust, a trusting response to a challenge from God. So that was one of my highest ones as well. Another one was discernment, which is interesting. I feel like as I'm getting older, I am able to discern more as well. The discernment gift refers to the ability given by God to perceive issues in terms of spiritual truth and to know the fundamental source of the issues and to give judgment concerning those issues. This includes the recognition of the spiritual forces operating the issue. Central trust, a sensitivity to truth and its source. So I do believe that's part of as well. Some of my other ones besides discernment and faith was tongues. I'm able to speak in tongues as well. Also, definition is that the gift of tongues refers to a spontaneous utterance of a word from God in unknown words, to individual giving the word to a group of people, speaking a message in an unknown tongue. So yes, I do have a gift of that as well. I already know that. Now, I've never had the interpretation of tongues personally for me. Now, my mother, however, she knows how to interpret tongues. I don't know if she knows it every single time, but she does have the ability. So, those were my second ones. Discernment, faith, and tongues were my second ones. What are those? Some other ones. Giving is another one. Was my second runner-up. And those, giving is the gift of giving, refers to the capacity to give literally to meet the needs of others and to yet to do so with a purity of motive, which senses that the giving is simple sharing of what God has given to you. Sensitivity to God to channel his resources to others. So that is one of my other ones as well. Exhortation. I'm not sure about that one. The gift of exhortation is capacity to urge people to action in terms of applying biblical truths, or to encourage people generally with biblical truths, or to comfort people through the application of biblical truth. Okay, now that I know that definition, yes. To apply biblical truth, which I am currently doing, towards people, encouraging others towards the truth. So yes, that would be the second runner-up. So is apostleship. So some of these I've had like pretty much runner-up / evangelist. I'll go to evangelist and next. What's the other one? Apostleship. That one. Gift of apostleship refers to a special leadership capacity to move with the authority from God to create new ministerial structures, churches, and parachurch, to meet needs and develop and appoint leadership in those structures. I don't know about that one exactly yet. I'm not saying again, maybe down the road. Maybe God will love that. And evangelism is the gift of evangelism in general refers to the capacity to challenge people through various communicative methods. Persuasion to receive the gospel of salvation in Christ as to see them respond by taking initial steps in Christian discipleship, introducing others to the gospel, basically. So who knows? Later down the road, I might have those gifts. I don't know. We'll see as time goes by. But yeah, I've taken so many spiritual tests and it has changed in some ways. So this other one was a youth spiritual gifts test, and this one was just a regular one, I guess. But anyway, that is my results. I hope that made some sense to you at all. You guys can find these as well if you ever want to online. I don't know where my sister Beth, our pastor's wife, had found this quiz. I don't know where to find it, but because I don't. Okay. So on the back of it says developed by Bobby Clinton, author of The Making of a Leader. So I don't know if you can look that up and find it. I don't know. I think it's from a book because it has the pages numbers on it. But yeah, this was definitely interesting. This one, the spiritual gifts for youth spiritual gifts test, is actually, you can find that at www.spiritualgiftstest.com. So you can find that on there. For that one. And these other tests I just found online. So if you're interested, just let me know. I'll put it down in the description below if you're interested, or in the comments section if my comments are allowed on there. I'm not sure why my comments section always don't show up, but anyway. So yeah, those are my spiritual gifts and my personality test. So I hope that clarifies who I am, and it honestly is eye-opening for personally for myself. Okay, so pretty much done all that. I did all my homework basically for my Bible study. I don't know what I'm going to get into because I'm kind of in between doing some things for chores and stuff, so I guess I'm going to chill out and relax and do some things. I might just put those videos together, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. And I'll see you guys later. So sorry about the noise in the background, but it's so seriously hot in my room. So just wanted to say good night, y'all. Hope you guys, as always, enjoy the vlog. I don't know if I'll film Monday. I can't remember if I'm working. No, I'm working Monday, so I won't be filming Monday, but maybe Friday. I don't know. Depends how my work day is. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. As always, keep on smiling, stay positive. I love you guys. Jesus loves you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.